The ballgame started with Bronson Arroyo working against the A's, and he worked 7 innings and left with the tie ballgame after 7, allowing 6 hits and 4 runs. And we mentioned Sarlo's performance tonight. The second time in 8 starts this year, he's gone 6 innings. Did not get a hand in the decision, and in fact, the way the A's were helpless in the first 4 innings against Arroyo, it looked like the 2 runs he gave up in the second might be critical runs tonight in the A's' effort to try and break their losing streak, because in that second inning, Nixon singled with 1 out, with 2 away on a 3-2 pitch to very eagle-eyed Kevin Youkilis to a base on balls. Then Sarlos compounded the situation by hitting Bill Miller in the leg with a pitch, loading the bases for Mark Bellhorn, one of the best in the business at making pitchers throw strikes and working the count. He got the count in his favor at 3-1. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Red Sox have 1, they have 2, and lead 2-0. The Yankees and the Red Sox are 2 teams you just can't live and survive on 3-1 and 2-0 pitches.
Red Sox lead the American League in on-base percentage, and that's what happens when you get into a hitter's count. Bellhorn got it to 3-1, bases loaded. Johnny Damon, who's red hot, is on deck, and so Bellhorn got a fastball down the middle between the belt and the knees.
Sarlos, though, came up with a big pitch on a 3-2 count to strike out Damon, who came into the game hitting at 372. So the damage was limited to 2 runs. Good defense helped Sarlos in the third. Renteria's hot shot toward third, between third and short, was gobbled up by Chavez with a spinning move and a reverse pivot throw that got him. And then with the A's playing the deep shift on the right side against David Ortiz, Ginter came up with a fine play to help Sarlos.
The 3-2 pitch and a line drive, 1-hopper, diving play by Ginter. He gets up and throws him out. I mentioned that Ginter, the A's second baseman, playing out in short right field and went diving to his left toward the right field line, made a fine play to Rob Ortiz, and that's out number 2.
The situation again seemed dire for the A's in the 4th inning. Now remember, the bullpen is short-handed right now with either overwork or injuries, and when Veritek, Youkilis, and Miller all singled to load the bases with nobody out in the 4th inning, disaster looked to be imminent. But that didn't account for Sarlos, who really bowed his neck. And again, Bellhorn, again in a bases-loaded situation, this time on a 3-2 pitch, he got him to swing and miss for strikeout and out number 1. Then he struck out Damon on breaking balls, and Renteria was still a threat at the plate with the bases loaded.
Swung on a drive to center. Kotsay going back. It's playable. Back there in straightaway center to make the catch. Kurt Sarlos escapes a bases loaded, nobody out situation. Strikes out Bellhorn, strikes out Damon, and gets Renteria to fly to center. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Boston.
The A's had only 2 hits and 2 base runners for the first 4 innings, a Hatterberg single in the second. But what may have been a very important hit, even though it didn't produce a run, in the 4th inning, Eric Chavez with a 1-out double inside third down to the left field corner. That was the beginning of a 3-hit night, something he has not experienced this year. Consider he came into this game batting at 190, and it was only a 135 hitter in his last 10 games. The A's got nothing out of it, but they got something out of their 5th inning threat thanks to Mark Kotsay. It started with Hatterberg's single and Watson's double, the first of his 2 hits tonight. This, of course, being his most significant play since coming up from Sacramento this weekend. It was his second start. His double put runners at second and third with nobody out. Scudero grounded to third with the infield back, except for third baseman Bill Miller, so the A's couldn't score off that effort. Thomas, who started tonight in right field, was hit by a pitch, loading the bases. Mark Kotsay came to the plate, and Kotsay saw 2 breaking balls before he got another one that proved pivotal. Arroyo takes the sign and set, throws. There's a drive to right. It's a deep. Nixon going back on it. It's over his head, off the wall. His 1 run in. 2 runs are in. Nixon retrieves it. Here comes the 3rd run. Thomas to the plate. Sliding. Safe at third. Kotsay. A 3-run triple. The A's lead 3-2. Now the Red Sox played the infield in, and Jason Kendall was the batter. A bouncing ball right to short. Renteria bobbles it. Coming home, the runner scores. Out at first base on the throw, but Kotsay is in with a 4th run. Kotsay went on contact. And Renteria with the infield in bobbles the ground ball, so he gets the out. Kendall gets the RBI, 4-2 Athletics. Now the question, could Starlos pitch a shutdown sixth inning and take a little of the burden off the bullpen, leaving only 3 innings for the pen to work tonight? Well, Veritek put a monkey wrench in that thought for a moment by singling to open the sixth inning. With 1 out, though, Bill Miller, the hitter. Miller a tough out, made 2 of them. And a bouncing ball right to short. Taken by Scudero. Shovel to second for 1. Get her to first. Got him. Double play. And so the Red Sox are denied after the leadoff single by Veritek. A shutdown inning for Starlos. Keeps the A's in front after 5.5. 4-2. With Ken Maka sensing a chance for the victory tonight, he decided to use Keiichi Yabu out of the pen. That would mean he would not be able to make his projected start in the finale here on Wednesday. You worry about that when the time comes. But it looked like that decision was going to blow up in the A's faces for a while. Bellhorn greeted him with a double to the wall in right field. He walked Damon, and then Renteria with a single set up a bases-loaded situation. Once again, the A's courting disaster. Big David Ortiz at the plate.
And the pitch by Yabu is swung on and ripped. Left center field, up the alley. Watson going back at the wall, leaping at the wall, and it's off the wall. Bellhorn will score. Damon right behind him, and he will score. We have a tie ball game as Renteria goes to third, and David Ortiz, first ball swinging, bangs a 2-base hit off the fence in left center field. And with nobody out in the 7th inning, this ball game is tied at 4-4.
And Yabu appeared to be no mystery to the Red Sox. And yet with Ramirez, Nixon, and Veritek coming up, he was going to make the great escape. He struck out Manny on 3 straight pitches. 1, 2, 3, and you're gone. They walked Nixon intentionally to fill the bases and pitch to Veritek, who went down on strikes. 2 down. Fuquist up next, the guy who makes you throw strikes. Well, he swung early in the count, hit into a force out, and Yabu had accomplished the seeming impossible, limiting the damage to 2 runs and keeping a 4-4 ball game in order. Once again in the 8th inning, Yabu was called on to come up with some big pitches when he gave up a leadoff single to Miller. After striking out Bellhorn, he walked Damon, and once again you're getting into that 2, 3, 4 spot in the order. He struck out Renteria, and David Ortiz was the hitter, and Ortiz obliged by bouncing to first base, and Yabu had performed 2 of the greatest escapes since Houdini. So the A's still had a shot at this ball game. And in the bottom of the 8th inning, after 7 innings worked by Arroyo, lefty Mike Myers came in. Chavez greeted him with his 3rd consecutive hit, going to left field for the base hit. Durazzo's shot off the pitcher's glove, went for an infield hit. Runners at first and second. Ginter coming up. Mike Timlin, the right-hander, the veteran, coming on to pitch. Ginter sacrificed perfectly, putting the runners at second and third. They elected to pass Hatterberg intentionally, fill him up, and pitch to the rookie Watson. And Watson was ready for the challenge.
Timlin eyeing Veritek, comes set and deals, and it's swung on, and it's a ground ball through the hole, base hit to right field. Chavez scores. Durazzo around third. The throw by Nixon, the slide to tag, safe at the plate. Matt Watson delivers a 2-run single to right. Stopping at second is Hatterberg, and the A's have taken a 6-4 lead. Matt Watson, first 2 RBIs for the A's.
Well, it was up to Dotel in the 9th inning and trying to purge all the memory of those heartbreaking losses on Tuesday and Wednesday last week at Fenway, and he promptly struck out Manny Ramirez, 1 big hurdle out of the way. But Nixon singled. After Veritek flied to left field, only 1 out was needed, and it was going to be Kevin Millar batting for Youkilis. Millar got Dotel with the 2-run homer for a win last Tuesday night in Fenway, but it looked this time as if he was going to be the last out. But baseball fates have a strange way. Ground ball, a little squiver to right side. Ginter charges, picks it up, throws to Dotel for the out. No, he's off the bag. He's safe at first. Dotel got there, but he was off the bag, and the game is still alive. Hatterberg had gone to his right deep, so was not covering first base. Ginter made the throw. Dotel reached for it, reached for the bag, but looking at the replay, his foot was 2 inches off first base. And you know, after the last week plus, A's fans were thinking, oh no, what can happen now? Bill Miller was up. Would it end? Here's the pitch. A swing and a fly ball. Left center field. Watson is there. And the A's have won the ball game. Despite trials and tribulations right to the end. The 8-game losing streak is history as Watson squeezes that final out of the ball game. The A's beating the Red Sox for the first time this year, and after losing 9 straight to the boys from Beantown, it goes to the Athletics tonight here at the Coliseum. Final score, A's 6, Boston 4. And after his first 3-hit game of the season, we'll hear from Eric Chavez, his thoughts on tonight.